You're watching a documentary about competing as a white belt in Jiu-Jitsu. I'm Kerry, and I've spent the last 4 weeks training intensely for this upcoming competition, eating, sleeping and breathing Jiu-Jitsu. I've spent 25 hours on the mats for 10 minutes of competing. I've spent hours watching BJJ videos online, planning my strategy and game plan, stressing and crying. This isn't even my first comp. That was a hell of a lot worse. Most of us are hobbyist white belts, yet there is so little information out there for what it's like to compete as a non-pro average Joe. I'm going to share with you the highs, the lows and an unexpected tragedy. You'll want to see how this story unfolds. I'm a very anxious person and competing is one of my worst fears. I'm also highly sensitive and prefer a quiet, introverted lifestyle. So competing and documentary filmmaking are massive steps out of my comfort zone. I've never been sporty and had zero martial arts experience before beginning Jiu-Jitsu at the age of 34. I started mainly for self-defense, but also because it's good for mental health and ADHD. I'm really lucky in that my boyfriend is a brown belt and I get to learn and train with him. This was our first joint competition together. I'm part of a small, independent club, which is way more like a family. Jiu-Jitsu might be a solo sport, but there's an awesome community spirit. And on meeting Jiu-Jitsu world champ Tom Barlow at a seminar, he kindly agreed to be part of this film. As scared as I am a lot of the time, I'm way more driven to overcome my fears, be better and do better. I've been on the mats for 2.5 years and I've competed once before. In that, I won 2 golds. Was it a fluke? I want to see if I can do it again. My story started actually many years ago when I tried to go because I just had a general interest and I couldn't even make it through the door. I literally got to the car park, saw everyone going in their gis and left. Then after COVID, there was the horrendous Sarah Everard story and I started to feel really unsafe as a woman. I mean, I've always felt unsafe as a woman, but you know, that really kind of hit home. And also there was a lot of dog theft through the COVID period and I was a single woman living on my own with a dog and I was like, I've got to protect myself. So I thought with a little bit of encouragement from a friend, I booked myself some privates and I started with private classes because I couldn't do group classes because of the anxiety.
Why do you do Jiu-Jitsu?
Few reasons. My kids used to do it and I would never make them do something I would never do. That's why. It's fun and addictive. A bit of feeling and a bit of like a mental battle. I've dealt with a few insecurities and things like that. So yeah, just going through the motions of putting myself out there and being a bit vulnerable.
Essentially, I wanted to be Bruce Lee. That was my original goal, and then I found like a JKD club, and they were very open with like doing grappling, and it was like very early MMA days, so like 99 type time. So I got into MMA because I wanted to see if I could like punch and kick people in the head and beat them up, and it seemed like the logical progression. I was doing okay, like I think I was like 3-1 was my record. It was alright back in the early days at the tavern, Circus Tavern. Nice. Then my last match I fought a guy called Paul Bridges, who was like ahead of me in jiu-jitsu. Like he was a purple belt. I think I was like the barely even started jiu-jitsu at that point. I was obviously doing MMA, and like I was doing okay. Like I was predominantly like a kickboxer. doing some cool kicks, and then for some reason I took him down to the ground, and on the way down he armbarred me, and I was like, damn, I've got to learn this jiu-jitsu stuff. And I went into jiu-jitsu, and then I kind of realized that I didn't like being punched in the head that much, so I kept going in through the jiu-jitsu path. And the natural part of it was, at the start, it was like, I'm going to compete because I want to get better at doing MMA. And that's like the next logical progression, right? I can actually test my skills against people. It's the thing that you kind of got to do. And then I kind of stopped wanting to do MMA because I didn't want to get punched in the head and see the benefit to it, and just kept on with jiu-jitsu and kept on competing.
So it's a long day. I've got a full day of work and then I'm training this evening. Obviously I've got to fit in life around that too. For example, walking the dog, as well as eating well and resting and looking after myself. It's a lot. I love what I do and I love training. But again, trying to find the energy and motivation at the end of the day of work to go training, it's really hard. And like right here, right now, I just feel really stressed by it all. It's like I'm kind of looking forward for the day to be over. I have to kind of remind myself to be really mindful that, you know, these are opportunities that I have and enjoy every moment. But it's not easy. And then you've got the kind of that underlying anxiety that's kind of you're carrying because of the upcoming competition, just to add to it. I've taken the dog out, I've obviously got up, showered, and I'm just getting myself ready now. Then I've got back-to-back work until 6:15, and then straight to training. So it's like boom, 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 it's like madness. And then I can finally sit down and rest this evening and try and find something for dinner.
Any plans for dinner?
Haven't really thought about it. I love cooking, and I find it really hard. Like, that is one of the things that has to slide. It's more about convenience, and food becomes very basic when I'm competing. So kind of salmon, rice and veg, or chicken, rice and veg. Waterproof mascara, an absolute must for jiu-jitsu. There you go, I'm ready, and now to start work. So I've just got back from training and it was awesome. I'm dripping in sweat and had some good rolls. Very tiring, just loved it. So it's 2 weeks before my second ever jiu-jitsu competition. I feel really excited. I feel quite confident. I feel very ready. This is my second comp. The first one, I had a very different experience. I didn't do a video log for that one, which is a shame because it was this huge, it was a huge part of my jiu-jitsu journey, and what you would have seen is someone that was absolutely terrified. It took a lot of work. I had therapy, I had sports psychology, I had massage, I had anything going to get me through that comp, my goal was just to get on the mats, and I exceeded my expectations because I ended up winning all 3, taking home 2 golds and having 0 points scored against me. So there's a bit of pressure for this competition. There's a bit of like, I want to do the same. Maybe I want to get a sub this time. The last couple of weeks I've averaged about 7.5 hours of training a week, which is the most I've ever done in my life. I normally do about 3 hours a week when I'm not in competition mode. I've been drilling a lot, I've been rolling a lot, just to get the practice in and just to be kind of perfecting technique, the stuff that's in my game plan to take into competition. This morning is weigh-in. I'm fighting in the middle heavy category, which means I have to be under 74 kilograms in my gi. And this is kind of where I sit comfortably weight-wise. Within the profession, it's quite normal to cut weight, but I don't like to do that. I'm just happy, and I've always been encouraged by my coach to fight at the weight that I am at naturally. Let's go and do weigh-in. 73 kilograms. I'm really happy with that. My gi weighs about 1.5 kilograms. I'm fully clothed, I've had breakfast, I've had coffee. So I am right on track. I don't need to worry too much. But what I will be doing over the next couple of weeks is just being really careful not to overeat. So we had some bad news last night. My mum has found a breast lump and she's been to the GP and she's been referred to the breast clinic. So we're all a bit worried. I'm not feeling very well. I've got cold, my body hurts, I ache, I've got no energy. I wasn't going to train, but I kind of feel like I want to. So I'm going to go into the gym with my coach and I'm just going to practice a few things, maybe focusing on detail, focusing on submissions. Definitely no takedowns today. So 12 days until the comp. I've had a full day of work and I'm not feeling very good from this cold. So no training for me today. I am going to go into the gym tomorrow and do some light work and maybe actually do 2 sessions. I might go in the evening as well. I really, really hope I feel better. That being said, I'm not actually too panicked because I've done loads of training. So I know I've got that all behind me. A couple of days off to rest up is not going to hopefully do too much damage. 11 days until the comp and this cold is not shifting. I've been resting and taking echinacea and cold and flu meds, but it seems to just be getting worse. Wanted to go training, but really don't feel up to it. It's nearly 6 AM and I haven't really slept tonight. I got submitted by a new white belt last night with an arm bar, and it's just not my competence. It's like my 2.5 years experience against their kind of few months. I'm like, he was a man, so he's much stronger. But yeah, I've also got my mum on my mind. I'm really worried about her, and I'm feeling the pressure to do well in this comp. I'm really nervous. I'm on my way to training. It's dark, it's 7:30. I've had a long day and I really don't want to go. I would much rather be snuggled up at home on the sofa watching the TV, but no, we must persist. No matter how I'm feeling before I go into class, I always come out feeling better. So I've just got home from training, and during a roll I farted. Oh God, oh, I was mortified. Nothing was said, we just carried on, but I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. Ah! I've been training for 2.5 years now, and my first comp was about 3 months ago, and up until that point I just felt like I was drowning, and I'd learned all these moves and all these different techniques, but I just couldn't put any of it together. So the idea of competing just felt like totally overwhelming to me. Then I sat down with my coach and we actually put together a game plan. This really helped me kind of get a flow. I finally understood what I had to do. I had to get them down, I had to get past their legs, I had to pin them, and then if possible, submit, but if not, maintain a dominant position. Having a game plan also really gave me a focus for my training. If you're a white belt and if you're anything like me, you've got all these positions and all these moves, it's a lot. This gave me a focus, like I need to practice this takedown, I need to practice this pass. Yes, there's risk. This is a more narrow game, but it gave me confidence, which is what I needed. To think, right, I can do this okay, and I think this is my best chance. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen on the mat, and we don't know what our competitors come in with, and that's going to change things completely. But it at least gave me this feeling of kind of like efficacy and confidence going into the comp. And for this second comp, I haven't really changed much. I've added a few little bits. I've really worked the same moves again and again and again. I need to drill stuff hundreds of times to get it. That way, I really do seem to understand it. So when I go into comp again, you're probably going to see the same stuff. If I pull out anything new, it's probably going to be a little bit random. It's all part of the experiment, and we're just going to see what happens. So it's a week and a day until comp, and I'm meant to be at training. I've still got this bloody cold and I feel rubbish. I'm day 24 in my menstrual cycle, and trust me, I feel rubbish because of that. I googled this morning, and today I'm really susceptible to pain, and so it's a real thing. Jiu-jitsu hurts more. I've got no energy, I don't want to fight, it's hard. And on top of that, my mum's really worried because of her breast lump, and she's got an appointment and it's a long way away, and I'm gonna go and see if I can help her and then go into training after. So bit of a not the planned start to the morning. I've not even brushed my hair, but here we go. This is kind of the challenges that life throws you while you're trying to train for a comp. I feel good, I feel excited, I'm buzzing this morning, I can't wait to get to open mat, I'm excited, I'm a bit nervous, I got a bit of a nervous tummy this morning, but that's okay. I have just had the best open mat, and I was rolling with a purple belt, and I managed to get top position a few times, and it has just made my day, and I'm feeling really, really, really chuffed. I'm just gonna go and have a nice breakfast now, but did a really good one. Confidence boosted. Doesn't always go like this, but it did today.
Because it's a good benchmark. It's good to see where you are in comparison to so many other people that are doing the exact same thing as you. And so you just want to learn. The first one's always a nerve-wracking one, and I still remember it. And it was massive in Medway Park, and I competed way back when, and I just went in there, and I think I had 1 win and 2 losses, and I came away with a bronze medal somehow. So, and it was good. It was so educational, but it then motivated me to want to do more. It made me realise that I had so much more to learn, and learning is one of the biggest things that I always preach. Is you're never there to be the best. You're there to learn. So.
If you win, it's great. If you lose, it's great. Like it's not. For me, it's not about winning. For me, it's about learning. I want to learn. I learn how to be better at jiu-jitsu.
So regardless of outcome, you still win because you
Yeah, I'm winning. I'm always winning because I'm learning. All the time you're learning, you're winning. If I know everything, I might as well move on and do something else. The only thing I fear is injury. It would destroy my chance to do jiu-jitsu, which in turn, mentally, physically, again, it's like one of the main things I do to keep my sanity.
So it sounds like jiu-jitsu.
It's huge. Yeah.
So to have that taken away from you by injury,
it would destroy me. Yeah.
Recently, we had UFC 298. In UFC 298, right, Robert Whittaker fought someone. I guarantee you, most people watching this can't tell me who he fought. My point is this, right? Millions of people across the world would have watched that, but hardly anyone watching this knows the answer to the question I just asked. So if you're a white belt and you're worried about competing, the most consoling thing that I think you can ever hold in your mind is that no one cares, right? And I know it might sound rude, but no one cares. No one cares whether you lose in particular, because when you lose, or if you do lose, it's going to be forgotten almost instantly. Essentially, you're in a win-win situation. If you lose, you learn. If you win, you're a hero for a week. So just get out there and do it.
Competition isn't an indication of your worth or even necessarily your technical skill. It's just a thing. Like, I've known so many people. Like, if you look at Worlds, right, there's like 5, 6, 7, 8 people in each category that could win it, and it depends so much on like the bracket, the formation of the bracket, what happens in those matches, like how their training's been. Like, have they got a sickness? Have they got whatever? It's really not a determination of necessarily who's best at jiu-jitsu, who's got the best technique or anything. It's about who's able to apply their jiu-jitsu on that day in those circumstances. So you may as well just go in there and try and do your best. Use your best techniques when you're going and learn from every single experience that you have. And no one thinks less of you by losing. Like, a lot of people don't even never get to the point. They put it up on such a pedestal that they don't even enter the competitions because they're more worried about that, right? And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Just go out there, enjoy the experience.
It's comp week. So I feel fine about the comp, funny enough. I feel no nerves whatsoever. Slept really well last night. But my biggest concern is physical health at the minute. I've tweaked my knee. My cough and cold is not shifting. So that's my biggest thing at the minute, physical stuff. It's 4 days until the comp. And for the first time last night in bed, I started feeling really nervous. My little heart was racing. And I didn't really sleep well. I was dreaming of the comp, and I was thinking of the comp, and I'm nervous I'm going to make a stupid mistake. I'm nervous I'm going to end up in someone's sub, and it's for a silly reason, something I know better. I'm sat in bed. It's about half an hour before class. It's probably my last class before the comp. I'm in a really bad mood. I think a lot of it's hormonal. All the ladies out there will probably understand that. I'm day 28 and I feel horrendous. I've still got this awful cough and I've tweaked my knee, but it is feeling much better after I've rested it. I could cry, that would be a blessing. Like, it would let all the pressure and the release out, but it's like stuck inside of me, and so I just feel irritable and just I just want to quit. I just don't want to do this. I think, why the fuck have I signed up for a competition? Like, what a fucking idiot. Why am I doing this as a 37-year-old woman? Why am I putting myself under this stress? Seriously, like, is it all worth it? I'm really fucked off. I'm going to drag my ass to this class, and I'm going to hate every fucking second of it, and I'm going to wish I wasn't there, and I just want to be snuggled up in bed. But then I feel like if I don't go, I'm just going to regret it, because if I fuck up, which was my dream last night at the comp, then I'm just going to blame myself. So I've got to go. I'm missing my sweets and my chocolates I've been eating clean, so I'm really irritable because of that. And you know what? Everything just feels really hard. Everything feels really hard. Like, everything is against me. And I just want to stop.
It's Kerry.
Are you trying to egg him on there, Kerry? Is that like, come on, come on?
Training was hard tonight. I didn't have any kind of fight or grit in me tonight. I have pushed myself to the absolute max for this comp, and it's really getting to me now. One last training session tonight, and I'm going to Uber light. I feel very physically impaired, and I don't like that very much. Mentally, fine. Mentally, I'm strong. This is a personal note to myself. You need 1 whole week off of rest and recovery when you compete again. 1 whole week. R&R. Saunas, steam rooms, yoga, walking. No heavy stuff. Whole week. Do not go into a comp feeling black and blue again. I feel really confident, but I feel nervous for feeling confident because this is new for me. So we shall see what happens tomorrow.
I always thought that I couldn't do forward rolls. And now I'm doing forward rolls. I'm able to feel like I can defend myself. So I'm a lot more confident. Outside of jiu-jitsu, I'm a lot more confident. I'm able to look at people in the eye now when I'm talking to them. No, not really. No, not really. I was quite self-conscious. I couldn't really look at people directly in the eye when I was talking to them. I wouldn't, even little things like I wouldn't feel comfortable walking to the shop on my own. And now, like, this is huge. Yeah, it's really helped me. The other day I went to the shop and I had headphones in, and I would never have done that. I would always be so aware of everything going on around me, but now I'm like, I can do these things, and I feel brave and I feel confident, and like nothing can hurt me. And that's all because of jiu-jitsu, literally. And I recommend it to anyone. And if you haven't started, definitely start. Just go for it. It's the best.
It's like exhilarating. It's like yeah, like it keeps you young a little bit. Like I always say this to the guys and girls, is like, I've never felt better in my life, but I've also never felt worse. Like physically I feel way better than I ever was when I was going to the gym. But at the same time, like I wake up in some mornings, like after a strong open mat, and I'm like, I'm not for this, you know, like I'm too old. Yeah. Like, oh, like, well, like, yeah, it's just like, there's no amount of hot tubs and massages that sometimes work some pains out. But like, for some reason, you just keep coming back.
If you're stressed about anything, for the split second you're getting choked out, nothing fucking matters. And that split second is really good for upstairs. It's like, oh my god, it levels you out. Like I was going through a really stressful time in December-ish, January, and like every fucking time you get fucking choked or your arm gets ripped off, like for that split second, you're like, no, work don't matter.
I'm proving myself to me that I can do it, that I can be more confident, and I don't need to be scared and anxious all the time, and I can also do something with my body as a 37-year-old woman who's got a very actually bad history with her body. Actually, do you know what? You can do it, and you can do it at any point in your life. I feel very confident, and I'm slightly nervous because I have never felt like this in my life. We'll just see what happens. We're on our way to Brighton, and I'm in the car. I've got Titus, Tom, we've got Alex, and Bruce driving. Don't take your eyes off the road. We've got 3 competitors and 2 coaches. We're going to go smash it. Here I am. I'm in Brighton, ready for the car. We're walking to get weighed in.
The scales are going to be beaten. You've got no issues with it. Yeah, it was good. 82.1. I mean, you're doing good.
72.95. All good to go. How was your weight, Kirsty? All good. What? Now the nerves have kicked in. You were just telling me you were excited.
I know, I am really excited. It's super exciting. I'm lucky to get Christmas.
Whenever I get nervous, I get really, really funny tummy, and I'm struggling a bit with that right now. I've just taken an Imodium.
Fresh competitor.
So this is my first match of the day. We slap bump and immediately get grips. She pulls me in, off balances me, takes me for a bit of a spin. I manage to stay on my feet, and I see a collar drag takedown. She's on the floor, and I get 2 points. Now I want to pass her guard, but she's got really good grips pinning me in place. I pressured down and passed to the back, and I eventually get side control, getting 3 points. I've got her pinned down here, and I want to bring my knees in to get a stronger side control, which I do. I then go for a knee on belly, and I get myself another 2 points. We're too far over, so the ref stops us. We have to reset back in the centre of the mats. I go for a head and arm choke, and as I take my legs over, she sweeps me. But I manage to get full guard. The ref moves us back to the centre. I maintain full guard, and as she sits up and postures back, I go for a hip bump sweep. I get it, and then I get full mount. I get 6 points in total for this. Here I maintain mount. I do try and get an Americana, but she's so strong I can't get it. I now try and attack a head and arm choke, but her arm's not quite under her chin, so it's not on. And then the ref stops the match as our time's over. And I've won. 13 points to me, 0 to my opponent, and I'm going home with a gold medal.
And then you're going to rematch in the summer?
Yeah, got it. I'll be there.
Deal.
Knee down. Hold it there. Stay where you are. Stay. Back into guard. Back into guard.
So between us, I got 13 nil 1. Titus has got 1 nil 1. Obviously a much harder competitor than that.
One more match to go, though. We'll see.
You can do it.
Coach T dislocated his shoulder and was advised by the medics to attend A&E. He felt passionately that he wanted me to compete before going. We disagreed on this. I wanted us to go to hospital ASAP. With just an hour until my next match, I reluctantly agreed. I was very concerned about his well-being, and this weighed heavily on my mind going into my match. So this is my second match. We both walk on. We shake hands. Ref signals to start. We slap bump. There's no slap bump. She slaps me with a really hard collar tie. We start fighting for grips. She goes for a single leg and I'm on the floor. I put my knee shield in to try and stop her passing, but she's really strong, really pressuring down on me. Eventually, she gets past into a side control. It's now 5-0 to her. She got 2 for the takedown and 3 for the guard pass. I'm a bit panicked here and I'm just trying to calm myself. As she's got me in side control, I'm trying really hard to stop her passing into full mount. She's applying amazing shoulder pressure, and as she does so, she dislodges my contact lens, which is now stuck in my eye and I can't see. This is really uncomfortable. Oh no, she gets full mount. She stays here for a while, but I managed to get on my side. I managed to get half guard, trap her leg between mine. She's still pressuring down really heavily. I still can't see. I'm doing my best to defend. I'm trying to turn into her, but she's doing a good job stopping me. And as she's got my back, she's trying to get a rear naked choke. So I move my hands to defend that too. And now I've got to get my head and shoulders to the mats. But I seize the opportunity to sort my contact lens out, and it's out. I'm defending her choke, and I'm driving my shoulders to the floor. Breaks her guard, and I'm able to spin round and get top position, even though I still end up in her guard. The referee sets us back to the centre of the mats, and my frustrations are shown as I gesture over to my corner to be quiet. From this guard position, I think she tries to sweep me, but I've got good base. She opens her guard and I manage to get dogfight position. I grab her knee and I'm trying to drive into her, but she's got a good post and I can't reach her arm to disrupt this. But she postures up, which gives me another chance, and I staple her leg as I try and pass her guard. I'm now in her half guard. We're coming to the end of the match. And I'm like, right, let's go for a sub. Look at my hands. I've got a baseball grip. I'm trying to take my weight over to get the baseball choke on, but she hips out and I keep my hips too high and I lose it. I know the match is coming to an end and I've lost. Trying to maintain a top position, I'm looking for another sub. Try and go for a head and arm from half guard, but this is unsuccessful. The match is over and she wins. I was really upset at losing my match and felt shame losing in front of all my teammates. This was my 5th ever competition match and my first loss. I went to the toilets on my own and had a big cry. So we've both had our matches. 1 win, 1 loss in Nogi.
And I just did the key. 1 win, 1 loss, as you can see.
He's got a dislocated shoulder.
Got a dislocated shoulder. In the final, there was all to play for, and then my shoulder hit the mat and it just came out.
My Nogi competitor, I was worrying about him with his dislocated shoulder, and I just wasn't in it. It's a learning curve, and we'll come back and try again. On our way home now. It's 5 o'clock and we're all done now. We're just on our way home. It's a grey, rainy day here. It's been a long day, but it's been an awesome day. It's 6 o'clock. Alex, we got a double gold medal winner here today. How do you feel?
Oh, amazing. Glad to do it.
Awesome. Bruce, how was coaching today?
Oh, it's brilliant. Too easy to coach.
Too easy to coach?
Oh, God, yeah. Don't need to tell them anything.
Ah, that's lovely to hear. Tom, how was it?
Oh, I'm so proud of everyone. Everyone smashed it.
Hey.
You know what? I really enjoyed today, other than the obvious injury. I'm really pleased with the whole team. It was such a good day, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. Can't wait.
Yeah. Awesome day. One, just do it, and 2, don't listen to anybody else except yourself. There's a lot of opinions on the mats, there's a lot of opinions in jiu-jitsu. Listen to yourself. If you need to push it, push it. If you need rest, rest. If you get injured, take time out and come back. Be the tortoise, not the hare.
Just get on the mats, give it a go. Honestly, it's the most addictive thing I've ever done in my life. You get battered and bruised, injured, but you always come away with a big smile. You never walk off the mats feeling worse.
Enjoy the ride at the start. You know, like I would say maybe not come in every day. Maybe just start like 2 or 3 times a week and let your body get accustomed to like the fact that you don't get beat up a lot in life. Be patient. and just learn at your own pace.
Don't take it so seriously. If you keep taking it seriously, you're just gonna burn yourself out and really beat yourself up. And the reason you're a white belt is because you're starting. So just do as you do.
Now the fundamentals, now the basics. The thing is, like, this journey has just been so crazy. Hell, I might have started elsewhere and probably not enjoyed it and been like, okay, you know what, fuck it, like, let's jack this in. Now the fundamentals, and carry on as you are, just believe,
Just do it. Like, just do it. I wish that I'd started earlier. I was of the mindset before I started jiu-jitsu, I thought, I'm going to start when I lose a little bit of weight. I'm going to wait till I feel a bit more comfortable. But that will never come. If you don't just go. Just start, because I just wish I started earlier. I wish I just walked through the door earlier. Just show up, just do it, because it's so much fun and I love it so much, and it's completely changed my life.
Take it at your own pace, first of all, but also concentrate as much as you possibly can on the most basic, most fundamental techniques, because these are going to be the moves that are going to take you through the majority of your jiu-jitsu journey. You know, we're talking 95 to 99% of jiu-jitsu is going to be the basic stuff. And if you can do that well, if you can do that at a really high level, you are going to be absolutely solid from white belt to black belt and beyond.
I would try to compete as much as possible, and I would focus on the process rather than the outcome as much. So I would focus on like trying to get as good as, like, using competition as a way to refine my skills more than worrying about winning or losing or any of those guys. If you just look at it as a tool, it's another part of your jiu-jitsu. Like, it shows me where I'm weak, shows where I'm doing well. I learn from this experience, and then I go on to the next one and I do the same thing. What did I do well? What did I need to improve on? Go on to the next one. So it becomes a tool for development rather than the goal.
So what did I learn from this? Well, competing served as this huge exponential learning curve for my jiu-jitsu in general. It felt great to win in gi, and it proved to me that I could win even when I wasn't feeling my best. However, I didn't achieve my goal to win double gold. But did it matter? No. Losing wasn't nice, but no one laughed at me, which is what I think most. In fact, my jiu-jitsu family have done nothing but offer support to help me improve. The absolute biggest win was for my confidence. Stepping outside my comfort zone has proved to me that I am capable of achieving things that I never once thought possible. And the added bonus is that this confidence isn't just on the mats, but it's off the mats in my day-to-day life too. I have to confess though, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Do I want to get that double gold again? Hell yes, and that's what I intend to do.